everyone. Welcome to your favorite show, Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. I'm your host, Raj Vashisht. I'm representing Adrianaa Services. And I'm introducing you my lovely team member, the Guru Coach, Betska K-Burr. If you like our show, so most welcome. If you are not liking our show, so you will face big consequence. So, Betska. Vaska, I'm giving you mic to you, so you please take this next introduction. And what consequence we can give to our audience?
If they don't like our show, the consequences are we're going to give them a million hugs and kisses. That's all. That's the consequences. Oh, thank you, Raj. Well, listen, it's our pleasure to have an incredible guest with us here today. His name is Thiruvengadam. He's from Bangalore. I've known him for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, something like that. It's been a long time. Yeah. And I tell you, you will be blessed to hear his wisdom. We hope to have him come back to do a series of shows with us. And but let me just tell you a bit more about him. He has significant sales and business management accomplishments with global technology companies in business development, sales, solution consulting, delivery, partner ecosystem development, customer business benefit oriented deliveries, large contracts structuring. So, structuring large contracts, complex negotiations, territory management, and people development. So, what doesn't he do is my point, right? Thiru had previously managed enterprise solutions selling to over 1,000 customers across geographies and industries, and developed and engaged with over 100 partners comprising of global SIs, Indian IT services companies, and tech OEMs. Excuse me. With the consultative selling approach and the focus on business benefits to the customers, Thiru has earned the position of trusted advisor. That's why I invited him here today, to many of his clients and his partners. And after 3 decades of working with multinational companies, right, Thiru is now business advisor to startup and early stage companies in India and the USA. He is also undertaking training and mentoring business to business sales and leadership teams. So this guy is a wealth of information. And by the way, he's also a certified coach. So you can trust him. I tell you, you can trust him. So today, welcome, Thiru. It's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Yeah. So for today's, as we said, there's going to be a series of our working with you. And if you could, in today's podcast, share 1 or 2 success stories from your business consulting career. I think that would really help people out. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. And as you read my introduction, a couple of things came to my mind. Out of this 1,000 customers, which one I should talk about today?
You've touched on a lot of things in your discussion on that success story, but how can, I don't know, give me 5 pointers or something for our viewing audience here of what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur.
Okay, as a successful entrepreneur, I guess it starts with the curiosity and the kind of desire to create something new by himself. For an entrepreneur, I'm saying, as against just falling into a beaten track or something, and use that curiosity and creativity to create some product or a service which is innovative in nature. That's the first thing. The second is, I guess, his ability, his or her ability to bring in a team. As I'm now involved with several of the startups, so there are only 2 of them. One is very successful, the other is not making it. The successful ones, they always have a team, because
Mm,
no company is run by one single individual.
mm,
And they realize it very soon, as soon as they are able to get their product, even past this minimum value viable proposition stage, as they call it. The third thing is ability to kind of communicate well, and then network well, and then maybe storytelling, in the sense, quite a few of these companies are coming up with great ideas but are not able to necessarily communicate that idea and
mm,
connect with the prospects or the customers to show to them as to how this is going to make their life better, easier, faster,
mhm,
etc.
mhm,
So storytelling is a very essential ingredient for the success of an entrepreneur. Either he does it by himself or he has a team or someone else in his organization do that. And maybe the fourth one I would say is the ability to take risk, which I now see in all these the 20s and 30s. Whole lot of such entrepreneurs that I am currently working with. They are really raring to go, and unlike the older ones, so they are willing to, even if one idea doesn't take off, they're always ready to come up with the next one and the third one, and so that willingness to take the risk really help them to go forward. The last one is ability to kind of put a business plan and then communicate to the investors, etc. Because at some point in time they need money, they can't just do it by themselves, and in order to gather a scale and then sustain the operation, they obviously need money. So in order to do that, it should not be just like that, at the back of the envelope, they do something and then run it, but do it in a very professional manner. Maybe engage some external agency to do that, but put it together like, what is it this is going to do in 1 year or 3 years or 5 years time, kind of thing. That is what would help the investors to see that, yeah, this is the potential opportunity, this is the solution, this is how this is being differentiated, and if I make an investment, this is the kind of return I'll be able to get, etc. So those are the five things, I guess, top of my mind, I would say, which makes an entrepreneur a successful one.
Wow. I have never heard anybody explain it that way. So let me review these. And Raj, I'd like your input on this. So what Thiru said first was curiosity, right? Creativity, being innovative, and a desire to create something new. Because if you're trying to bring the same old type of product to market, you're going to have probably limited success unless you are a genius at marketing, right? But gosh, I know in my own company, that's what we did. We created something highly innovative and very creative. And Raj, I know in your executive search company, you are very innovative. Like you told me this morning when you were doing some interviews, Zoom interviews for a client, for a person to hire, you use some very innovative techniques, right? So, and your intuition is amazing. And so, number one is that innovativeness, that curiosity, that create something new. Number two is bring in a team. And I remember when I first started out in business uh, 30 years ago, hate to admit it, but I immediately brought in a team. We were small. There were two or three extras, so four of us in total, but we were so good at what we did, and we reached out, and that was before the internet. You can imagine, Thiru, and you live there because we're probably roughly the same age. I don't know, but that when you don't have the internet, you really did need a team back then to do all the work, and now it's certainly a lot easier. But having a team and a good team, a vital team. Raj and I have talked about that before around making sure that your team is they have diverse thoughts, but they're all going in the same direction, right? That's vitally important. And then number three, the ability to communicate well with storytelling. I've never heard anybody say that, but that is so true, right? To be able to talk about your business through stories. And I know as a professional speaker, I usually open up my speeches with a story because it engages people, right? Number 4, you said take risks. Oh my God, I just think that is so important. And then the business plan. So
and financials.
explaining communicating to the investors, because you're going to need money, right? On, well, what are they investing in? What's the product here? What's the success plan? Yeah. So, well, I think those are very wise. Raj, what do you think of Thiru's 5 tips for being a successful entrepreneur?
These are very fabulous points because I have also learned from my journey, you know, determination with storytelling is very important. You need always motivation, encouragement from your family, your friends, your professional colleague. Otherwise, sometimes you feel, oh my God, I want to give up. I can't do. Sometimes when the situation going in the right direction, you feel, oh, it's wow, wow, wow. But when the tough time came, then you realize, oh, it's not my cup of tea. So then you realize, and you need motivation, encouragement from your family, team member. Then you realize, oh, I have done very good task, so I don't want to give up. I want to go look forward. So that is storytelling is very important. Very, very. It's a mool key mantra in my point of view.
That's so fascinating. I've never heard anybody use that word before in terms of being a successful entrepreneur. So I think that's very wise. Raj, let me ask you, how many risks have you taken in your business? You've been doing this since what, 19 something or other? No, 2007, right? I think when you started your business. Yeah. So how many risks have you taken? Can you count on
Uh,
2
uh,
hands?
I have faces so many risks: financial crunch, staff crunch, good team crunch, my own wrong decision also, because that time I was not mature, so I didn't realize how to look forward, how to take forward, because no one there for guiding me that time, because I always taken all decision from my side. So I I have done so many mistakes, but I am not ashamed of my mistake. Because I have always learned from my mistake, and I realize, no, next time I will not do this. Next time I will not do this. So I realize and learn from my mistakes, and I'm proudly said I have done mistake because I am a human. So I don't want to hide my mistake. I don't want to hide my failure also. But my main achievement, I never give up. I never ever give up. That is my achievement. That's why I'm sitting with you here now.
Thiru, let's make that number 6.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Never
I was
give
about
up.
to say, like, since you mentioned 5, I stopped at 5, but otherwise I would have said resilience as the next one, because I see these the new age entrepreneurs. They all are quite resilient in their approach, and they don't give up. They come back, come what may. They are, the next day morning they are there still. The product is not working or whatever, the customer is not accepting it, whatever could be the case, or the product number or the version number 5 is not up, they are still there, they come back. And or they come back with new ideas, you know. And it's also true that across these entrepreneurs that I have been involved with now, I don't see any one of them is just only focusing on only one product or one service. They always have few other things in the pipeline.
Right.
because because I mean there are some saying, like if only 5% of the startups really make it,
Did you
see the
say
light of the
did you
day.
say 45% make it?
Only 5%.
Oh, only
Only
5% make it.
5.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So, but it does not mean that the 95% just, fall out of the wayside or whatever, but they always have another one or the third one they're working on.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
resiliency is absolutely a great thing the entrepreneurs are having in order to be successful. And the new age ones, I'm saying.
And to conclude this podcast, thank you so much for all your wisdom, Thiru and Raj. And I think one of the main characteristics that kept me going, because I started, my own company 30 years ago, has been faith, having faith in myself and faith in the product, and also a faith in God. I really needed that. And then when I had that faith, then I was driven on the inside versus just driven by my logical mind, right? My higher power was driving me. And that felt really good because my higher power became a part of the team. Interesting, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Thiru. And we're going to see you in podcast number 2 for another exciting episode. Thanks for being here with us today. See you later. Bye for now.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me?